Hey, I'm Kristine Leahy with another edition of Best Thing I Heard This Week. Steve Lavin told us what he thinks of Ben Simmons' talent.
I like him as a prospect. It's tough at that age when you don't have the surrounding cast and you've got the expectations that come with being considered the best player in the country, and really that means the world in terms of a prospect. And whether he's one or two or three, he's in a handful of players that are going to get considered, to be a number one pick. So I like his unselfishness. There are times where I'd like to see him, I'm sure as his coaches felt, impose his will on the game at both ends of the floor more in terms of wanting the ball like Buddy Hield. And yet, the fact that he doesn't force, I think will be a good thing when he gets to the next level, because he plays with some intelligence and with some purpose. And when he has better players around him, that willingness to pass will make him a better teammate and more difficult to defend, as opposed to a guy just wants to gun it, just pump it every time he catches the ball. They're easier to defend. It's the guys that actually make good reads and decisions that are harder to defend.
Joel Klatt let us know about a breakout star we should keep our eyes on.
Kavion Duncan from CSU Pueblo in Colorado.
What is that?
Colorado State University Pueblo. So it's this town in southern Colorado. They just brought the program back about 7 years ago. It was killed in the late 80s, and they brought it back. It used to be called just Southern Colorado, so they were like a USC type of vintage. Their head coach was my tight ends coach at Colorado, John Riston. I called him yesterday. I talked to him about Kavion Duncan, a small receiver, kind of a Tyler Lockett, John Brown-esque receiver. His mom, Colin, was a Jamaican track star on the Jamaican national team. His dad's a white guy from Brooklyn. Falls through the cracks from Goodyear, Arizona. Could have gone to Fresno State, probably. Falls through the cracks. Ends up at CSU Pueblo. He's a great returner. Quick story on Duncan. West Texas scores late in the game to go up 7 points with 30 seconds left. John Riston, the head coach at CSU Pueblo, says, Kieran, return the ball. Whatever you do, wherever it is, you return it. You're our best chance. He took it 98 yards for a touchdown. It's 31-30. Riston goes for two. They don't get it, so he almost wins the game. He took a kickback for a touchdown with 30 seconds left, down 7 points. Had to, did it, scored a touchdown. I love this kid.
Jason Whitlock clued us in on Kobe's biggest problem.
This game is a part of a season-long narrative that Kobe Bryant's selfishness and desire to go out his way and to have this whole organization shut down so the whole season is about Kobe's retirement tour. I think it's the exclamation point on stamping Kobe's legacy as the most selfish superstar we've ever seen. Kobe's a guy that's competing to be one of the 10 greatest NBA players of all time, and I think this puts the exclamation point on disqualifying him from that. I really do. He's not better. He should not be ranked higher than Tim Duncan. The Spurs may win the title this year, and Kobe's playing on the worst team in the NBA other than the Philadelphia 76ers, and they're an embarrassing laughingstock. This team, he may do some real damage to the Lakers franchise, and if the Clippers were doing a little bit better, maybe we would see a flip, a reverse. Like the Lakers are the incompetently run franchise that allowed one superstar player to totally demolish everything. I think Kobe has hurt his legacy. I think, look, he's a great player. But I think in comparison to the other superstar champion NBA players.
And it's a fine line, the difference between those great players.
Yeah. And if you look at the way they finished, individually and on their teams, none of them have gone out like this.
Peter Schrager filled us in on the latest with the 49ers.
Right now, though, it's going to be an open competition as we head into this. Colin Kaepernick and Blaine Gabbert. And I can tell you, coming off those owners' meetings, don't sleep on Blaine Gabbert being the guy in San Francisco. If Jared Goff is there at 7, that totally changes things. I don't think Goff is there at 7. So if you've got Gabbert and you've got Kaepernick, Gabbert's making $2 million. Kaepernick's making $11.9. Together, they're going to make $13.9 million. You look at Osweiler making $18 million. You look at Cousins making $20 million. The Niners are saying, okay, let's roll out the ball and play. Let's see what we can do.
And Bob Arum gave us insight into how he became a boxing promoter.
Jim Brown, who I met, the great football player, introduced me to Ali, and without ever having seen a boxing match, in 1966, I promoted a heavyweight championship between Muhammad Ali and George Chuvalo. Now, that started out as Ali and Terrell. We got kicked out of the country because Ali said he wouldn't go into the Army after they reclassified him. We ended up in Montreal. We got thrown out of Montreal. We finally arrived in Toronto because the co-owner of the Maple Leafs and the Maple Leaf Gardens, the hockey people, told me to come in and we would do a fight. Terrell pulled out of the fight because everybody was on percentage and the American Legion was boycotting or striking the closed circuit locations. Chuvalo came in, and Connie Smythe, from the Smythe, whatever division.
Smythe division.
Yeah, he said, I don't want that draft dodger in my building. and it wasn't even their war, right? And Harold Ballard, great man, bought out Smythe from the team and the arena in order for that fight to happen.
This is Best Thing I Heard This Week. Tune in weekdays at noon Eastern.